What does the size of your testicles really mean? It's a question that a lot of men think about but rarely ask out loud. Does having larger testicles mean you're more of a man? Does it say anything about your testosterone levels? And what about fertility? These are valid questions surrounded by a lot of myths and misinformation. So today, we're going to cut through the noise and get straight to the facts. We're going to explore what testicular size can, and, just as importantly, what it cannot tell you about your health based on medical science. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear, accurate understanding of this fundamental part of male anatomy. To understand what testicular size means, we first need to be clear about the two primary jobs the testicles have. Think of each testicle as a highly specialized factory with two completely different production lines, each with a distinct purpose. The first production line is for spermatogenesis. This is the complex process of creating sperm. It's the fertility function. This is the part of the factory dedicated to ensuring the continuation of the species. The second production line is for hormone production. This is where the primary male hormone, testosterone, is made. Testosterone is responsible for everything from your sex drive and muscle mass to your bone density and mood. These two functions happen in the same place, but they are carried out by different types of cells and take up vastly different amounts of space inside the testicle. And this difference in space is the absolute key to understanding the relationship between size, fertility, and hormones. Let's start with the area where size has the most significance: fertility and sperm production. When we talk about the size or volume of a testicle, what we're really talking about is the amount of internal machinery it contains. And it turns out that approximately 95% of a testicle's volume is made up of something called the seminiferous tubules. These tubules are the actual production lines, the tiny, coiled tubes where sperm are created and mature. The cells that line these tubules, called germ cells, are the raw materials that eventually become sperm. Because this sperm-producing machinery makes up the overwhelming majority of the testicle, there is a very strong and direct correlation between testicular size and sperm production capacity. The analogy is simple. A larger factory has more space for more assembly lines. More assembly lines mean a higher potential for output. In the same way, a larger testicle contains more seminiferous tubules and, therefore, has the physical capacity to produce a higher quantity of sperm. A smaller testicle, having less internal machinery, naturally has a lower capacity for production. This isn't just a theory, it's a fundamental principle in reproductive medicine. When a couple is facing challenges with conception and a urologist evaluates the male partner, one of the very first things they assess during a physical exam is testicular size and volume. Smaller than average testicles, a condition known as testicular atrophy, can be a significant red flag for issues with sperm production. A classic medical example of this is a condition called varicocele. A varicocele is essentially a cluster of varicose veins in the scrotum. These veins can cause the temperature inside the testicle to rise, creating a hostile environment for sperm production. Over time, this stress can cause the testicle to shrink or atrophy. When the testicle shrinks, it's because the sperm-producing tubules are being damaged and are shutting down. The result is a smaller testicle and, often, a lower sperm count. So, the first key takeaway is this: testicular size is a strong and medically relevant indicator of your body's potential for sperm production. A larger volume generally suggests a higher capacity for fertility, while a significantly smaller volume can be linked to lower sperm production. Now, let's talk about the second function of the testicles: testosterone production. This is where the most common myth exists, and it's crucial to separate fact from fiction. Many people assume that if large testicles mean more sperm, they must also mean more testosterone. But this is incorrect. The link between size and testosterone is very weak, to the point of being unreliable. To understand why, let's go back to our factory analogy. We established that 95% of the factory space is dedicated to the sperm production lines. So where is testosterone made? It's produced by a special group of cells called Leydig cells. These cells are scattered in the small spaces between the sperm-producing tubules. Here's the critical point. These testosterone-producing Leydig cells make up only about 5% of the total volume of the testicle. Because they take up such a tiny fraction of the overall space, the size of the testicle tells you almost nothing about how many Leydig cells you have or, more importantly, how efficiently they are working. You can have a very large testicle, packed with sperm-producing tubules, but have a relatively small number of Leydig cells that aren't functioning well, leading to low testosterone. Conversely, a man can have smaller than average testicles, but if the small number of Leydig cells he has are highly efficient superproducers, his testosterone levels can be perfectly normal or even high. The efficiency of your Leydig cells is regulated by signals from the brain, not by the physical size of the organ they reside in. It's about quality, not quantity of space. Now, I know that when we talk about topics like testosterone, libido, and sexual health, it brings up concerns that go beyond just testicle size. Many men are specifically worried about their actual performance in the bedroom, achieving and maintaining strong, powerful erections. And on that specific note, I want to share something truly compelling I came across. It's a powerful, 100% natural home remedy that only takes 7 seconds and is designed to reverse the real scientific root cause of male performance issues, without pills, pumps, or risky injections. For anyone who wants to learn more, I've linked to a short, eye-opening video that explains exactly how it works. Go ahead and point your phone's camera at the QR code on your screen right now to watch this free breakthrough video. For those watching on a device where that isn't easy, don't worry. I've also put the direct link right at the top of the pinned comment below this video. It's absolutely worth watching if performance is a concern for you. Alright, with that said, let's get back and summarize the key takeaways from today's main topic. So, what is the practical, bottom line message you should take away from all of this? Let's put it all together. The relationship between testicular size and male health is nuanced. It's not about manliness or any other vague concept. It's about two specific biological functions. If your concern is fertility, then testicular size is indeed a relevant piece of the puzzle. The vast majority of the testicle's mass is dedicated to sperm production, so there is a direct link between volume and fertility potential. If you and your partner are having trouble conceiving and you notice that your testicles are small or seem to have gotten smaller over time, this is a valid observation to bring up with your doctor. It's a physical clue that warrants a professional evaluation, likely starting with a semen analysis. However, if your concern is low testosterone, then you need to look elsewhere. Focusing on testicular size will be misleading. The real indicators of low testosterone are the symptoms, things like persistent fatigue, a noticeable drop in your sex drive, difficulty maintaining erections, loss of muscle mass, or even mood changes like depression. If you are experiencing these symptoms, the size of your testicles is irrelevant. The only way to know for sure is to see a doctor and get a simple blood test to measure your hormone levels. To wrap it all up, the size of your testicles tells a story, but you have to know how to read it correctly. It's a story primarily about your fertility, not your testosterone. A larger size suggests a greater capacity for producing sperm. A smaller size may suggest a lower capacity. But when it comes to testosterone, the story isn't written in size. It's written in how you feel and, ultimately, confirmed by a blood test. Don't rely on myths or visual guesswork to assess your health. If you have any concerns, whether it's about fertility, hormones, or anything else, the single most important step you can take is to speak with a healthcare professional. They can provide you with accurate information, proper testing, and the right guidance for your specific situation. Thank you for watching. If you found this information helpful and clarifying, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more evidence-based health content. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. We'll see you in the next video.